Joe Whalen, WBMA TV in Birmingham, Montravius. We've been hearing for a couple of seasons now that Auburn's defense is ready to take a step forward and be one of the best in the SEC, one of the best in the country. Why is this season different?
I just feel like we're so much closer together as a team, and having our players that we got back, like Carl, him being healthy, we got depth on the D-line. We got experience in the back, like the DBs and all of that. And I just feel like we're such a close-knit group that anytime any man goes down or anytime any man goes out of the game, I just feel like the next person that steps up is just as good as the first person.
Tom Menino, WVTM TV in Birmingham. I'm sure you hear it or see it on social media, hear it from the fans. There's some doubt about whether or not Gus Malzahn might be the right man to lead this program. Jay Jacobs, as the athletic director, has come out and expressed support for him and pretty much said that they have confidence in him. A, do you hear the talk about Gus Malzahn's situation? And B, why is he the right man to lead the Auburn program?
Well, to answer question A, I haven't heard nothing about that part. But to answer question B, I feel like he's the right guy. They brought him here for a reason, and he did well the first season. After that, I put that on us as a defense. I don't think we hold offenses, under enough points. So just with that being said, we need to get better as a defense, and I think this year we'll be better.
Going right here in the middle.
Hey, Chris Womack, CBS 42. What is the biggest difference when Carl Lawson's healthy out there?
The biggest difference to me, to be honest, is I think he kind of takes pressure off of me, which is a good thing. Every player, sees their fair share of double teams and all that. But with me and him being there together, we came in together. We're pretty close, and we've been playing a long time. And then now that we're back in this our senior year, I just think both of us got a lot to prove. We've been working on a lot of stuff together and separately, and I just feel with both of us being here together, it's going to make the D-line better. We're both D-line leaders and team leaders. And at the end of the day, I just feel like we're going to have a good defense.
Going to go right here.
Steve Nissom, WEAR Pensacola. Last year, you guys were the SEC favorite. This year, a little more under the radar. Do you like this scenario better coming into a season?
I really do, because, when I came here in 2013, which was my freshman year, Auburn was overlooked. We was not ranked at anything, defense or offense. So now I just really feel like it's that same scenario over again, except this time I'm a senior. But I really feel like we can do the same thing.
Back over here.
Montravius, Tony Cornish, Jr., WTVY News 4 in Dothan. You jumped right into the fire in your scheduling this year. Talk about that, how you prepare for the ACC champions and the challenge that they possess in that quarterback that's oh so versatile.
Well, everybody knows that Clemson's a great team. But right now, we're just focusing on Auburn and getting Auburn to be better. And I know they're working just like we're working. And when we meet each other on September the 5th, we'll see what happens.
Right here.
Obviously, a lot of people are going to be talking about the quarterback race. How much do the guys on defense pay attention or even care about that?
I really think we pay a lot of attention to it because, if we're a great defense, we don't really need the offense to score. But, every defense needs points if they have to get it themselves or if they need the offense to do it. So me as a player, I try to bond with the quarterbacks. I try to be one of their best friends, even though I play D-line, they play quarterback. I just try my best to, give them all their attention and try to help them on anything I can help them with. And I just want whoever that gets that job, that wins that job, to take off and run with it.
Back here in the back.
Hi, Tatum Everett, KTBS. You have a new defensive coordinator. This is a two-parter. First, new defensive coordinator. How's it going under Kevin Steele? And then secondly, with his history at LSU, do you think that'll help y'all maybe stop Leonard Fournette this year?
Well, to answer the first question, Coach Steele is a great guy. Right now, we never played a game before, so we don't know how how that's going to work. But we just feel as him coming in and putting his scheme in and us doing it to the best of our ability, I feel like we're going to play good on his scheme. And to answer the second question, I feel like that's not really on the coaches. That's more on the players. If you watch the game, you know, you can see it. We didn't play our best. And I just feel like this year it won't be the same.
Back on this side.
I mean, third defensive coordinator in the last 3 years. Continuity is something everybody always wants to have, but I guess it's hard to have in college football with coaches moving around so much. What's the dynamic been like for you and you guys adjusting to a new D coordinator once again, and just trying to get adjusted to a new guy?
Really, I just feel like since we had it happen one time and then the second time, now going to the third time, I really feel like it made it easier. Just knowing that, like, if you could do it once, you know you could do it again. So having a new coach and all our players are buying into it as a group. And I just feel like when we get out there on that field, we're going to do whatever Coach Steele has us to do and wants us to do.
Go back to the front.
Steve Nissom again, WEAR Pensacola. You talked about Carl Lawson a little bit. How healthy does he look to you, and what do you feel like he's capable of being fully healthy if he is?
Well, I feel like right now he's 100%, even though I know no one is 100%. But I just feel like that for him right now, going into the season. And with him coming back, I just feel like the sky's the limit for him. You know, he never really played a complete season. But I know he's a great guy, great player, great competitor. And I just feel when we step onto that field every week, I feel he's going to give it all 100%.
I know there was some talk of you possibly going to the NFL after last season. You're back now. What are some of the things that you think you need to work on and improve individually this season to help yourself at the next level?
Really, me as a player, I feel like I need to have more tenacity. I feel like I need to be more of a dominant specimen. Like being out there on the field, I feel like offensive linemen should like fear me when I'm on the field, and that's my plan this year. And I just want a guy like when they be like, oh, we got to play Montravius again, you know. That's how I want a guy to be. So this year, you know, that's what I'm really working on, and I'm trying to work on my hand placement and pad level. You know, that's really the key to the game.
He's going to follow up.
Just as a follow-up to that, talking about that tenacity, especially now as a senior leader here, how much do you take it upon yourself to instill that type of a mindset in everybody else on the defense?
I mean, really, I think it came natural. We came off a losing season, so and we also finished the season off pretty well, I think, as a defense. But then again, we got a new defensive coordinator, so we don't know. But at the end of the day, how we've been practicing, how we started off in the spring, I feel like the sky's the limit. And when we put those pads back on, I think we're going to do what we have to do.
Back here.
Montravius, has the team established when you get together amongst yourselves? Have you established any team goals, any mantras you want to personally carry into this season to get the swag back at Jordan here?
Really, our big theme this year for the whole team is to earn it, and that's to earn everybody respect, from coach to player to scout teamer to the reporters to everybody. Like, as long as we go out here, offensively we execute and defensively we execute, I think we'll do that.
Here in the middle.
Hey, Montravius, growing up, how much of an impact did your mother have on you, both on the field and off?
Really, the reason I play this game is for my mother. I mean, I love my mother to death. And actually, to say something, today is my mother's birthday. I would like to wish my mama a happy birthday. Really, if it weren't for her, I don't know where I would be. I do this game for her. I love this game. And she's my biggest critic, my biggest fan. And I don't know, it's hard to explain, you know. Your mother brings so much to you.
When you look at the schedule, you guys have 5 straight home games to start the season. I know every football player says they don't want to look ahead, but I imagine that would be a real comfort level knowing that you guys get to kind of really take a lot of time before you head out on the road and play some games at Jordan Hare, get some confidence.
Right, I think that's a good thing. You know, everybody wants to win at home. I think everybody, most of the time, plays their best at home. So if we come out with those 5 games and playing our best, I just feel like the sky's the limit. You know, going away, and as long as we keep that head of steam, I think we'll be okay.
Back to the front.
John Franklin and the quarterback chase this year. What's been your impression of him? What you've seen from him so far?
John Franklin? Well, you know, I'm pretty sure all of y'all know he's a very fast guy, very, very elusive. But one thing about him that I really think that stands out is every time I see him, anywhere, every time I see him, he's working. Like, when I go in the weight room, I work out at 6 o'clock. He's in there, he's working. I come back, he's in there, he's working. He got the receivers. So I just think right now he's bringing leadership to the team, you know, just having all those guys out there together, and they just building a bond. So, you know, when it comes out of game time, whoever that starting quarterback may be, you know, they're going to be ready.
We got a question right here.
Montravius, talk a little bit about Gus Malzahn, your personal thoughts on your head coach, the leadership he brings to the table, how he motivates you and the team to prepare yourselves for what's going to be another challenging season.
Really, I just feel like, you know, every year teams set their goals, and right now our goals is take it one day at a time, and that's our mindset, and that's what he told us to have. So really, we're just gonna take it one day at a time, get better at practice, and then get better at the next practice, and head to the game, and try to get better at the game, and try to win every game we can.
Right here.
Have any of the quarterbacks in your mind separated themselves as far as just taking ownership of the team and taking on a strong leadership position?
Well, actually, I feel like all the guys been working. I see Sean from time to time. He's been working. He's been getting better with his footwork. He's been getting better with his accuracy. Seeing Jeremy, he's been trying to become a better runner, more accurate. And like I said, John, you know, he always in there throwing with somebody or throwing with nobody. It don't even matter. I actually seen him working out with Michael Vick, you know, over the break. And I just think that's a great thing, you know, to learn from a veteran who has already, you know, been one of the best guys ever to play the game.
Any other questions? Okay, back to the front.
Yeah, Montravius, your impressions of SEC Media Days, all the cameras, all the attention, the spotlight, how do you feel?
Well, when I first came in, I felt kind of nervous, all these cameras out here. But right now, I feel good. I feel like I'm at home. I feel comfortable. And, you know, anytime somebody asks a question, I'm ready to answer it.
We don't get to go out to practice that often. When we are out there, it seems like the bond between the D lineman and Rodney Garner is really, really strong. How would you describe the bond that you guys kind of have with Rodney? It certainly seems like he's pretty intense out there as well.
Yeah, and with him being like that, that just brings us closer together. Because, you know, with his coaching style, you know, sometimes you got to tear a player down to build them back up, you know, to be the best that they can be. So us as leaders and players, their peers, that helps them a lot, you know, so they can grow and be better as a player. But that bond that we have in the D-line room, I just think it's crazy. Like, I don't know if anybody else got that bond like we have, like, over all the other football teams. I just think us as D-line with coach, I just think it's crazy. It's like we pick up on his habits. It's just like we really his sons, you know.
And does he set the tone?
He does. He set the tone. Yes, sir.
Right here.
Hey, Cassidy Hill, TV20 in Gainesville. You spent a year with Muschamp as a defensive coordinator. Now he's on to South Carolina. Lots of different talk about him moving on so quick. Do you think he's ready to take that head coaching position back over?
Well, I do. I mean, if people didn't think so, you know, they wouldn't ask for him to hire him at the job. But he's there. I think he did a pretty good job at Florida. I really do think he's a defensive-minded coach. That's my opinion, which is why I feel like last year, toward the end of the season, being with him, I feel like we got a little better. But now he's on to his next job, and I wish him the best luck.
Right here.
Clay from WDHN in Dothan. Could you describe what it meant for Carl Lawson? You guys, y'all played with each other since in high school. Y'all have known each other in high school. How was that a big factor for you guys to stay at Auburn and make this defense great again?
Well, like you said, me and Carl have been knowing each other since 11th grade, and we played in junior bowl together. We were roommates then. We stayed right beside each other. Freshman year, we were roommates on Under Armour game. And that just make us be closer as players. That's why we always together. We learn from each other, watch film together. And that just helps us make everybody else better around us, you know. From knowing what we know, and now we, some of the old heads on the team, they just help us spread our wisdom to everybody else.
Got time for 2 more questions? Okay, thank you.